This time I bring before the people, I bring before the council, not just a question of whether something is good or bad, right or wrong, action based or emotional. Not something whether something touches the soul or whether something is appealing. I bring into question the question of quality. Something, where it ranks, where it compares to another, is something really as worthwhile as one may claim it to be. This question is important when you really see the overall scope of art itself. Now, this video is a response to sort of a follow-up to a video I made a few days back, and in that video I talked about more or less a few or several reasons as to why the Sabri arc or Sabri archipelago and the Water 7 arc are not masterpieces. And in that video I got mixed reaction. Some people liked it, other people disagreed, and they still held their position, which is okay. But I was thrown some accusations, as is normal for me, about my views about Dressrosa and Marineford. And I don't always bring in videos to necessarily make an offense. This is sort of that, but it's also a clarification of my position. Now, here's the thing. I have said to this point that Dressrosa is the best arc. I'm not saying that it will be the best arc in One Piece. Okay? I said pre-time skip Marineford is the best arc. That doesn't mean by the end of One Piece it will be anywhere near the best arc. I don't believe that. I don't foresee that. I don't conceive that. I did not pick those because they are heavily action oriented. It's just how the arcs were written. Okay. The action wasn't pointless, it had meaning to it. I'm not saying there is, other arcs action is not pointless, but it just had meaning. When I put those the best, it doesn't mean that they are my favorite arcs. No. Some of my favorites, you could say, but not my favorite arcs. For example, my favorite arc in One Piece to this point is the Enies Lobby arc. And I was talking to dude, this past night or so, about some of the reasons, whether from the fights to just the whole arc structure, the way the approach when you got there, just the push, the struggle in war just for one person. Just there were so many elements, the development with Gear Secondo and Gear Third. Yeah. But here's the thing. When I said about Sabri, okay, I said that it's a very good arc. I said that Water 7 is a good to a solid arc. A very good arc is still very well done. I just mentioned several problems with the Sabri arc, which there are. There are problems in, you can say, most One Piece arcs, to say the least. Nothing's perfect, there are flaws, happens. But One Piece has so much going on that most of the flaws are minor, and they're just, some of it comes to personal preference, some of it is actually a bit problematic. Here's where I put Sabri. I say Dressrosa arc, Marineford arc, Enies Lobby, Impel Down, and Arlong Park. In that order, are all above. Now, before I had said Impel Down and Enies Lobby, but to clarify, Impel Down is below. And actually, I'll put Impel Down below Arlong Park. At this point, I say Dressrosa, Marineford, Enies Lobby, Arlong Park, Impel Down. And then you could say Sabri. I would rank Sabri about 6. Nowhere near masterpiece level. I don't think to this point any of the One Piece arcs are masterpiece levels. Let me get that straight. People get it twisted, you think I'm saying Dressrosa is a 10 out of 10, not any chance. Even by the end of it, no, it's not going to be a 10 out of 10. No. Later on down in the series, maybe we'll get an arc or 2 or 3 like that. But at this point, no, not anywhere close. Getting there, not anywhere close. Now, this video will involve spoilers when I talk about Marineford potential. I mean, not Marineford, Dressrosa potential, but it is what it is. The thumbnail in of itself will spoil some people. It is what it is. Now, Dressrosa. So much criticism, much of which is without merit, or too much personal preference. Okay. Let's look at Dressrosa as a whole. Well, let's look at the elements of Dressrosa and why Dressrosa is actually good. Because the dude was asking me, well, what are you basing it off of? What has happened or what the potential? No. That's not my reason for saying Dressrosa. I've said this since several months, at least a few months back. Okay, at least a few months back. I mean, Dressrosa. This is, and I definitely stated it when Big Ma'am showed up. That was just like the icing on the cake at that point. Let's look at this. The Straw Hats are entering, and they're in alliance with the Heart Pirates, right? Namely Trafalgar Law at this point. He's the only Heart Pirate there. Okay. They're dealing with an exchange with Don Quixote do Flamingo, Heavenly Demon Don Quixote do Flamingo. Do Flamingo is set to step down from the Shichibukai. That's enough to shake up the New World because of all of Doflamingo's connections with the underground brokers, and other connections that he has. Another Shichibukai leaving the position. Then we have CP0, Cypher Pole Aegis Zero coming in and clearing up the whole thing. The introduction of CP0 is massive. It is massively important. And we for a lot of times we forgot about it for a while until people brought up, well, what is your CP0? Okay. The introduction of Admiral Fujitora, new admiral, coming into the scene. We had Vice Admiral Bastille on the island. Actually, we had 2 Vice Admirals. We had Maynard too. We have introduction of, we have Bartolomeo. We have Bellamy coming up. We got so many dudes from around the One Piece whose story, connections will play a bigger role. You got all these allies. You have Cavendish and him, and he's incredible in himself. I mean, Bellamy's a character. Bellamy came up. Bartolomeo's a character. We have the Tata people, the dwarves, aka the fairies. Okay, they're a new race. You understand? We have this whole toy situation and the dark history of Dressrosa. The connection, the looming threat of Kaido, and then Big Ma'am shows up. Or at least her crew shows up. It's like, what? Straw Hats being split apart, half strength is left on Dressrosa. We see the hacks abilities of some of the different executive officers of the Don Quixote family, of the Don Quixote pirates. Okay, and that's just a drop in the bucket. I mean, we got people. Jesus Burgess shows up. We have Salo showing up. Others of the Revolutionary Army, Hack, Koala. Okay. We have Usopp with the character development. Now, a lot of people having problems with it, but it's a pivotal part to his character. We have Kairos and the toy soldier and his thing, and Rebecca, Scarlet, King through that whole history tied in with Doflamingo. Doflamingo is revealed to be in some way connected with the Tin Beetle, aka the World Nobles, aka the Celestial Dragons. All this, and then there's more to come. All the combination of elements that Oda's throwing in there, one after the other, and just building. And then we riding this, and we still haven't yet to see Luffy face off against Doflamingo. Oh, and how can I forget against Law and Doflamingo? And then Fujitori's ability. All this going on, not just action, but I'm talking about the backstory. We're talking about development. Some characters we probably won't see, we may never see again. Viola's ability, questions being brought up about hockey, questions being brought up about the level of Zoro, questions being brought up about the level of Luffy, Doflamingo, the Admirals, Law, Sanji. So many questions that people have. Theories about devil fruits. I mean, you have Diamante's fruit, you have Treble's fruit, you have Sugar's fruit, so much Jor's fruit. Okay? It's unbelievable. The question that brings in about Law stamina. And then there's the whole question of what Law and Doflamingo know about the will of D. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable what all Oda is constructing in this arc. And you want to come to tell me, with all these elements presented, that Dressrosa is a mediocre arc? It's an okay arc? People complain about, oh, the cheesing. Let me address this, which I addressed before, prior to, I believe in that video, it was either my chapter review from 742 or in the Sabaody Archipelago, or in the Sabaody Water 7 video. Ladies and gents, if I was to tell you about a fight, and I brought you highlights, or I said this, a couple punches were thrown, what do you think would happen? What would be your reaction? Your reaction would be like, that wasn't really a fight. Or you would be like, yo, that dude got wrecked, that dude got destroyed. That's what's been happening. From Doflamingo just laughing throughout his clash with Law. It wasn't even worth seeing. Then we had let's see, the whole Usopp situation. People are upset about that. Frankie knocking. There's reason stuff isn't being shown. Oh, and how can I forget also about Luffy and Don Shinja? Like, the level. You feel me? There's so many things. Just as I'm going, I'm remembering stuff. Because there's just so much to remember. Especially in comparison to an arc we had, a slow arc like Punk Hazard that was before. You have all this hectic, and it's just about to be even more chaotic. But at the same time, we're getting beautiful stories. It's well written, well developed. Now, let's look at Marineford in a similar fashion. Not as high quality, but in a similar fashion. With Marineford, what do we have? Its basis is, some people write, it's a rescue arc. But at the same time, it's a war. It's a rescue arc, but it's a war or a battle, depending on how you conceive it. Not only that, we're going to add in most of the most powerful people. At one point or another, they're going to show up and do something. But what we're going to do is we're just going to tease. You can say this, or you can say tease. We're just going to give you samples of their ability. We're going to give you samples of the strengths of these people. Now, some of the flaws is Sengoku, for example, not going on. We're just going to show you structures of Yonka. We're going to show you, alliances. We're going to show you where people fall politically, like Mihawk's neutral. And we're going to, at the same time, give you character development for somebody like Trafalgar Law, who we just met. Comes in there. We're going to give you character development for Buggy the Clown, for Sir Crocodile. We're going to give you that. We're going to give you, we're going to have 2 significant deaths in Fire Fist Portuguese Diaz, as well as in Whitebeard Edward Nugget. We're going to show you conflict in the character of Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp, whether for family or for the Marines in their absolute justice. We're going to show you the abilities of 2 mythical zones. When we had not seen any mythical zones, you have Sengoku the Golden Buddha, even though it's BS, and I can call out that all day long, the character of Sengoku's BS, but regardless, we're also going to show you Marco the Phoenix. We're going to show you partially where their admirals stack up and how powerful they are actually. We're going to show you the threat, the foreshadowing of the threat of Luffy. And then we're also going to hype up Dragon at the same time. We're going to show you the significance of Luffy to the world of One Piece. We're going to show you the bonds that Ace had with his crew. We're going to show you the lengths that some people may go to, willing to sacrifice once again for one person. And it's similar to Enies Lobby, but different. We're going to show you how people are willing to die for the mission, but at the same time, we're going to show you the horrors of war through the observation hockey of Kobe. We're going to show you that people sometimes don't even care if they're about their mission. You have Akainu ready to kill Kobe, who is supposed to be on even his side. We're going to show you the moral, highly questionable morality, and just what is justice. You understand the balance of power. We're going to show you with the introduction of red-haired Shanks into the battlefield. Whole war stop. We're going to put things on a whole nother level. Crew not just coming in there. We're going to show you just differences in how each Yonko approaches things. We're going to talk about Kaido clashing with Shanks. We're going to hype him up. We're going to show you Blackbeard's nature. His characterization. How manipulative, how opportunistic he can be. We're going to highlight a whole bunch of characters while a battle is going on. There is more I could say about this, but here's my thing. When people criticize me, it's not about the action. It's about the significance. It's about the quality. And while Sabaody Archipelago is highly significant, it's quite problematic at the same time, for reasons I mentioned and a few others as well. Never confuse me for being an action horror. Never. Sabaody had some great action, had great moments. It had great moments, but as far as a story writing perspective goes, Marineford and Dressrosa outclass it. And Water 7 doesn't even come close. Like I said, Sabaody is the 6th best arc in One Piece. It's nowhere near a masterpiece. When people look, masterpiece, go look up what a masterpiece is. One Piece in of itself is a masterpiece. The whole story of One Piece is a masterpiece, even to this point. A masterpiece is a creme de la creme work. You're trying to tell me Sabaody Archipelago is creme de la creme? No, Dressrosa and Marineford are not masterpieces. None of the arcs in One Piece to this point are masterpieces. You're trying to tell me that Sabaody Archipelago is going to be the best arc of One Piece? Is that what you want? You're willing to venture and say that? And there's many things to which I love Sabaody Archipelago, but at the same time, there are parts that are just highly problematic for it to be a masterpiece. A masterpiece needs near perfection, to say the least, if not being perfect. A masterpiece is like the flaws in it are so minute, so chipped. It's like barely any chips, off of it. Like, we're not even gonna worry about that. Just brush that off. Just brush that off, blow it away. Kind of stuff. It's just like chaff, just like excessive. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to worry about. These are my thoughts. What are yours? The Unexpected One. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, man. Till next time, y'all. Peace. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night.